Have you ever wondered why you spent 12 long years learning the Pythagorean theorem, but you never spent a single hour learning how to legally pay less in taxes? You can easily draw the detailed structure of a microscopic plant cell from memory, but you have absolutely no idea how a credit score actually works in the real world. You memorize the exact dates of ancient battles that happened hundreds of years ago, but you do not know the difference between a depreciating liability and a cash-flowing asset. Most people think this is just a simple flaw in the modern academic curriculum. They think the education system is just a little bit outdated and needs a quick update. But the objective truth is much darker and far more intentional than you think. The school system is not failing to teach you about real money and wealth. It is actually doing exactly what it was perfectly designed to do from the very beginning. To understand why you are financially illiterate, you must look at who built the system. In the early 1900s, industrial titans like Rockefeller and Carnegie faced a massive problem. They were building massive global empires, and they needed millions of obedient employees. They did not need independent thinkers or ambitious entrepreneurs who would challenge the status quo. They needed compliance workers who would stand quietly on an assembly line for 8 hours. John D. Rockefeller famously stated that he wanted a nation of workers, not thinkers. So these titans heavily funded the creation of the modern General Education Board. Their explicit goal was to create a reliable and obedient industrial workforce for their massive factories. Think about the daily structure of your average high school experience for a moment. The ringing bells telling you exactly when to move and when to eat your lunch. The neat rows of desks facing a single authority figure at the front of the room. Raising your hand and badging for permission just to speak or use the restroom. It is all psychological training for a lifetime of working a traditional 9-to-5 job. If they actually taught you how to build assets, you would never need a regular job. And if you do not need a job, the entire industrial system completely stops working. There are 3 unspoken rules that the school system forced deep into your subconscious brain. These invisible rules are the exact reason why you are still struggling with money today. Rule number 1 is the deadly concept of trading your limited time for money. School taught you that the only way to succeed is to show up and perform physically. You get an attendance grade just for sitting in a chair for a specific amount of time. This perfectly conditions you to accept an hourly wage or a fixed yearly salary. It makes you believe that working harder and longer is the only path to earning more. You are trading a non-renewable resource for a paper currency that the government prints infinitely. That is why most people never even consider the concept of building passive income streams. They literally cannot comprehend making money while they are sleeping or on a vacation. Rule number 2 is the toxic belief that all failure is permanently bad and shameful. In the school system, making a mistake gets you a red mark and a failing grade. If you fail a test, you are labeled as stupid and told to study harder next time. But in the real world of wealth building, a mistake is simply a valuable data point. Failure is the exact mechanism through which all successful entrepreneurs actually learn and grow. The person who makes the most mistakes and learns from them always wins in business. If you are terrified of making a mistake, you will never start a new business. You will never invest in the stock market because you are constantly afraid of losing money. The school system paralyzes you with the fear of failure, so you seek artificial safety. You seek the fake security of a steady paycheck instead of the ultimate freedom of ownership. There are 3 absolute requirements to do all of your work completely alone. In a traditional classroom, asking the smartest kid in the room for help is called cheating. You are forced to take every single test by yourself, using only your own limited memory. But in the real business world, collaboration is the ultimate secret weapon of the wealthy. The rich do not take tests alone. They build powerful teams and strong corporate boards. If you look at any billionaire, they have a massive team of specialized experts behind them. They have tax strategists, legal counsel, and brilliant marketing minds doing the heavy lifting. If you are trying to do everything yourself, you have already lost the game of wealth. School punishes you for using leverage, but leverage is the only way to get truly rich. This is exactly why the straight A students usually end up working for the C students. The A students perfectly memorize the rules of a heavily rigged and outdated industrial game. The C students ignored the rules and learned how to hustle and build real networks. The academic system rewards total compliance and blind conformity above all other human traits. But the free market economy rewards bold innovation, calculated risk, and massive value creation. These are two completely different games with two completely different sets of rules. If you feel like you've been playing a rigged game your entire life, you are right. But the incredibly good news is that the system cannot stop you from re-educating yourself. You have the power to learn the vital financial literacy that they deliberately skipped over. The middle class is taught to save money in a dying and inflating fiat currency. We know from our previous video that saving cash is actually losing you 5% every year. The truly wealthy are taught to borrow cheap money to buy cash-flowing hard assets. This is the fundamental reality of how money actually works in the modern global economy. It is not about how hard you physically work for your money every day. It is entirely about how hard your money and your automated systems work for you. School handed you a highly detailed map that leads straight into a 40-year financial trap. It is time to tear that outdated map into pieces and throw it away forever. Your very first homework assignment for the rest of your life starts right now, today. Stop thinking like an obedient employee who is waiting for the next set of instructions. Start thinking like an owner who is actively looking for new problems to solve. If you want to break the rules of this rigged game, hit the subscribe button right now. We are exposing the financial matrix every single week so you can finally start winning.